Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to my 81st FlossTube video. So excited. I have so much fun stuff to talk about. But let me get my business out of the way first. So as always, all my links are posted in the description, which is under near the video on YouTube. Um, it includes links to the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop, Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, Stitch of the Month Facebook page, Instagram, uh, and the Buy Me a Coffee link in case you're enjoying this and want to buy me a coffee to keep me going here. Um, so Oh, and I break my videos into chapters. Sorry, my mind is like, woo! I've been going through all my goodies here and I'm excited. Um, so I break my videos into chapters. So what you do, you go into that same description part. Each chapter will be listed with a timestamp next to it. You just click on the timestamp and it will take you directly to that portion of the video that you want to watch again, because I know you're going to want to watch the whole thing. So let's get going because I do have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. First thing I want to talk about, and I got a lot, is I mentioned in my last floss tube and several before that I was going to a retreat. It was a local, well, fairly local retreat within an hour of here in Brandon, so I drove every day. But it was such a fun retreat. I think I've been to a lot of classes and things. This retreat was different. A lot of retreats are this way now. I don't go to them. But this one, two different designers were featured and they designed exclusive kits for the retreat. So I'm going to show you those in a minute. But first, I just want to talk about everything that happened at the retreat. There were 120 stitchers, which was wonderful. Everyone had a great time. I certainly did. There were 5 vendors, including me, with lots of stash enhancement opportunities. I sold a bunch of stuff and I tried not to buy a lot, but I did buy a couple things. I'm going to show you those in a minute. This retreat was put on by Ann Williamson of Sunshine State Stitchers. This was the 2025 Spring Fling retreat. She runs a lot of wonderful retreats and has so many great designers coming up. I'm really excited about this. So she runs a lot of retreats each year. Some of them you just come and stitch, some have a designer. So anyway, this, like I said, I don't usually do the ones with the designer. I love the designers, but I have so much of my own things to stitch up. Um, I don't need anything else as I sit here with a whole pile of stuff. But I was intrigued by these designers, and I last year, anyway, she had Jeanette Douglas, and I just came and vended. I wasn't part of the retreat. So I felt very left out. And when I saw the project, I was like, oh God, I knew I should have. I should have done it. But anyway, so this year I went, I'm going. I love both the designers. So I had to do it. Anyway, and I'm glad I did. I had such a good time. So I'm gonna show you there were so many goodies and so many wonderful things. There was um like a stash unload table where people just put stuff they wanted to give away, which like I needed another thing. I tried to control myself, but you know. So anyway, I'm going to go over all the stuff I got, including the kits, but kind of in order. I wanted to show oh my God, this was the bag. We got a bag. It says Spring Fling. And obviously I filled it up. The bag was actually empty on the table, folded up very neatly. And along with some other goodies and treats and I just set it next to me, and as I got stuff, goodies and free things and the kits, everything I put in this bag. So it would be all together because I knew I wanted to talk about it at this retreat. I mean, at the during this FlossTube, I've got retreats on the brain. So the first thing I wanted to show, this is the beautiful bag we got at every retreat, and has special bags made for the retreat. This is not something you can get anywhere else. This is just a nice zipper line bag, and it has a project I'm going to show you in a minute. But I just wanted to kind of go through everything and talk about it, and just kind of, if you haven't been to a retreat, you need to go. They're not all fancy. They're not all, I don't always come away with a lot of stuff. I did not win a door prize, which was okay, because obviously I got a lot of stuff, and I don't need a door prize, but she did have wonderful door prizes. And other retreats are simpler, which are also fun. This one was a lot. It was busy. The designers were there. They came around and talked to us. It was a lot of fun. Other retreats, you can just go and sit and stitch and relax with your friends, which I did at this one too. But I also vended. So we got these fancy name tags. I thought that was really cool that we wore during the retreat. Those are really nice. I probably have 20 stitch name tags somewhere. I don't know where. I need to stitch one because I'm going to the Duclay. I just joined the Duclay EGA chapter. They're out of Jacksonville. It's about 4 hours from me, but they do their meetings over Zoom. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm just going to kind of go through the piles here. And as I go down, I'll talk to you about the stuff. Whoops. Bumping, my mouse is rolling around here, bringing up other things. So this on the table waiting for us, this was one little fun project. It goes with the bag we got for the retreat. It's a little, like a red minder. This is handmade by Gina. Handmade by Gina. And it's a thread catcher. And it has a little piece of felt, so your threads will catch on that. They'll lay on that and not roll away or get blown away. But it's got a little snap on it. So that's something really nice for your stitching box, or to put with all your stitching tools. These are fabulous. I can't remember who these came from, but I haven't even taken them out of the package. But they're earrings. And if you notice, it's hard to see, they're full of orts, which is little snippets of floss. These are too cute. I need to get these out and wear them to the next retreat. Everybody got a pair of these. I will tell you, I did not give fancy schmancy gifts, but I did give everybody a free chart, because the theme of this was flowers, the theme, spring fling flowers. So this is called Friendship's Garden, or Friendship's Flowers, and it's a free chart that I just went around and gave to everybody. We also got wonderful, who doesn't need a notebook with Post-it notes and tabs and things, and an ink pen. This is Spring Fling, Tampa Bay, Florida, and May 22 to 24. So that was really nice. That's from Anna also. I have so much stuff in here. One of my table mates brought this wonderful little storage box and gave everybody at our table. Some treats were given to everybody at the retreat, and then others were just for your table mates. So she gave us some bandanas or headbands, I guess, in case you want to get your hair out of your face. This is a needle minder. Whoops, you can see it. Got a bad glare here today. It's a sparkly needle minder. I got highlighters, pencil, another highlighter, and my favorite, lip balm. I always, again, I have 20 of those all over the place and I never know where they're at either. So I'm going to have like this huge mountain of stuff sitting here. So I talked about I talked about the stash unload table. It's free. You can just sort through it. And there was a lot of really nice stuff. But as I walked up, I saw this Sulky Secrets to Successful Applique book. It's a nice book. And my mom used to work for Sulky. She was in several of their books and traveled and taught for them, went to shows and things. So I started looking at this book, and it was from 2002. And so I'm looking here in the front through the credits. Special thanks to all the talented people who contributed projects, tips, and samples. And there is my mom, Marilyn Fisher. And I probably won't be able to find it. Oh, here it is. So believe me, I looked through every page of this. So this is my mom right here showing these short trip. These are, this was from a seminar designed by Patty Lee and Carol Ingram, and my mom probably helped teach it, but she's back here, and these are all the people that took this trip around the world, mini quilts. So that was fun and exciting. So I had to go around and show people at the retreat, my friends, because I was so excited. I took pictures of the front and the pages and sent them to my family. They were all, they thought it was great. And my sister showed the pictures to my mom. Unfortunately, my mom is 94 and has dementia. She's in a memory care unit right now, but she remembers, some stuff. But it took my sister a while to make her understand, and I don't know if she ever did. But my mom thought this was great, that I found this book. So I'm going to hang on to that because I don't think I have any of the books or magazines she was in. So that was a great find. And I don't know who put that there, but if you're watching, thank you so much. I'm going to go through some stuff I got here in front of me. Like I said, there were vendors. I was one. There was also fabrics by Stephanie, which I love her hand-dyed fabrics. So I did buy 2 pieces of fabric. As I was sitting there, which is how it happens with me, I started getting an idea for a new teaching piece, and it was just rolling around in my head. So I went to, we were all vending in one room, and of course she was like right across me and I could see all her fabrics. So I went over and looked through all her fabrics. And after a couple days, I finally settled on this. It's hard to see the color. It's a beautiful shade of, it's almost aqua blue. It's called Polar Plunge. And this is 32 count, and I got an 18 by 26 piece. It's all folded up, but it's not heavily modeled, but it has a little bit of very slight variation in the color. But I thought it was beautiful and it spoke to me, and I wanted to use a really pretty color for this project, which I have. I actually came home and I have it almost totally designed. I'm going to start stitching it. It's going to be in sulky threads. It's going to be a 2-day class, and I'm very excited because it's totally different from anything else I've ever done. And also, while I was looking at Stephanie's fabrics, I couldn't resist this fabric because it's gorgeous. Again, it's a 32 count. This is 18 by 26. This one's called Willow Whisk. And I don't know if you can see, it has, again, slight variation in the color. It has some areas which are, it's hard to see. They're almost like a purple lavender, pale lavender on top of the blue, but that is beautiful. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I love it. So that was something I bought for myself. Okay, next I want to talk about, there's so many wonderful people. The stitching community is great. They're there to help you and everything. And I was just walking around. I spent a lot of time walking around talking to people and admiring all their projects. And I went up to Kathy Mazzarelli, who I know from we have like a monthly group that meets at the library in Tampa or thereabouts, somewhere over there. And I was talking to her and admiring her project. It's not a bag, it's a project, it's a set. So I was admiring it, and she had an extra one. Hers was different colors. I have been wanting one of these for so long. And these are by Missy Lynn, who it's, I think it, yeah, Missy Lynn. You can find her on Facebook, and she makes these fabulous project. They're not really bags, but they've got things to put your stuff in. Trying to hold it up here so you can see it. And the colors are all coordinated. There's all these zippered pouches. And this one here has this wonderful, again, I love this. It's a stitching mat. These are really popular at retreats now. You set this like a placemat in front of you, and it kind of keeps all your stitching tools together. But this one, it's beautifully made. And it comes with, it has little pockets. This, is a needle minder. So it's got a magnet. So you can stick your needle to that. It has a little scissor case. All the stuff is coordinating. I love this. And then again, another little, this is like a little needle book. Isn't that just cute? I couldn't believe that she gave this to me. It's, oh, and this is a little tray that unfolds. You can put your orts or little bits of things in that. So that also comes with it. And she has different sets. This is like the deluxe set that has everything. You can buy just, I dropped my scissor case. I think you can buy just the mat, and she has different styles of project bags. Look, it's even got a wonderful handle on it. These are very well made, very well made. I sound like an ad for her, but this is the only one of these I have, and they're not cheap, but they shouldn't be. They're really well made. There's a lot of fabric in here, but anyway, this was gifted to me. I'm just so grateful because, like I said, I've been wanting one of these forever, and I've got project bags and other things, but this will keep everything together for me. So thank you again, Kathy. I know she watches sometimes, so I am thrilled. I am just thrilled. I can't wait to fill it all up. I probably won't be able to lift it by the time I get all my goodies in there. Okay, I'm going to go over a few more things. That'll talk about that and this in a minute. Those are the projects. On the stash unload table. Oh my God, I picked up so much stuff. Mostly, a lot of them are fancy things. They're not just stitch pieces. They're projects that you can put together. This is real cute. It's a little pin keep, and it actually includes all these printed fabrics that you put this together, mostly because I want to learn finishing. And I thought, well, this is a good way. I can study these patterns, take some scrap fabric, and start putting things together, because I'm not a seamstress. I'm more of a handwork person. I also picked up, this is by the Witchy Stitcher, who I love. This is, who is this by? It looks like a reproduction. This is from 1993. I don't know if you remember Charland Designs. This is Marie, a needlework tribute to Mary, Queen of Scots. And I love samplers, and it's beautiful. And mostly I get it for ideas and how they're put together. And this is, this is old school. This chart was drawn by hand and then photocopied. So that's how we used to do it, photocopies. This, speaking of stash enhancement, this is from Stacy Nash. I think you might know her from the Animal Cracker series that she does. Their little bunnies and things that stand up. Well, this is Percy, and I saw him stitch, so he was just so cute. He's a slug. How often have you ever seen a slug before? A project to stitch a slug. He was so cute. I had to have him. So that was I think that was the only pattern I bought. And she has these as door prizes, but I did not win any. This is, lavender lotion bar, and I love lavender. It's like my all-time favorite scent. And this smells so good. So it's a lotion bar. It's wrapped up. You need to unwrap it, and then you just take it out and rub it on your hands. And it smells so good. And I love the little tin. So when the lotion is gone, I can use this as a little container for orts or for pins. Pins would be good. I could put a magnet in there, and I could store all my needles in there. But anyway, I bought that. She did have a bunch as door prizes and other things, but I didn't win one. So I bought one because I wanted it so bad. It smelled so good, and it still does. Now, this was another little gift that somebody brought around. These are little strawberries. Somebody made all these for everybody and gave them out. I can't even believe that. We got a little spring fling band for our arms. My bag is still got a lot of stuff in here. Whoops. So these are some of the ones I picked up at the stash unload table. Like I said, mostly because some of these, especially this is Fibers to Die For. This is Amy Mitten. This is called, with the same MO, victim number 8. I think she had a bunch of samplers that like go together. This is a serial sampler designed in the manner of the 17th century Dutch needlework. And again, this is from 1999. So it's an older piece. And then I got, these are also 1999 Amy Mitten designs. I'm not sure what the stitched piece looks like. This is what I think it was like a stitch along type thing before they really had stitch alongs. I love all of her stuff. So this is Secrets of the Queen. I don't even know if I have all the parts here. I haven't taken everything out, but I'm very excited to go through that. I'm going to have a big pile here in front of me. And like I said, a lot of these I picked up because I wanted to learn how to finish things. So this is an accordion book of ornament. So it folds all up. So I guess when I'm just sitting watching TV, I can also read instructions. And then I will probably give them away at another stash unload. Almost all retreats have that now, like a free table. So this is a cute little scissor case I picked up. I love this. This is Cherish Stitches. This is a Forget-Me-Not workbox. And I mean, they don't have anything with them. They're just a pattern, but you can learn so much from them. Here's another one. This was 2005, Louise Henderson. Again, Cherish Stitches. This is a little box. And another one, Cherish Stitches, the emblems of innocence. And again, it's like an accordion book to put together. Oh, and now I have a bunch of just little goodies that are here at the bottom. Put that with that. This is a beautiful, it's like a scissor fob, and this is, my friend Marlene makes these and gives them to everybody. She couldn't even come. She wasn't there this time, and I missed her. But she still makes little goodies to hand out. This is like, you can put floss fobs on here, or you can use this on your scissors. But it's so pretty, and it comes in a pretty little bag with a card made for you by Marlene Ballina, her name is, not Melina. Let's see, what else do I have here? This is another one of these little, I can't remember what you call them, but they're like, if you cut out, have to take a bunch of stuff, rip a bunch of stuff out. They're like a little mascara brush, but if you've ever pulled a bunch of stuff out and you still have fuzzies and things, you can use this and brush it over your fabric. This is another little great thing for your sewing box. Oh, I think this was made by Rita. I'm not sure. This is a cute little, again, a scissor fob. It says tomato. How cute is that? It's got a little ball there, and it's got a little hook to hook it on your scissors. These are floss tags. I think they're called, from Sunshine Stitchers. I believe she has a FlossTube also, and their Facebook group, and it you know, those were handed out to everybody. Oh, these were from Anne from the retreat, and they're just cute little charms. There's a 2025 charm, not a 2005, and other little things for tabs. So I think that is the end of that. So next, I want to show. Don't you wish you were there now? We had so much fun. And this also includes, you know, all the fun we had stitching and talking and food. She had wonderful food. There was like a continental breakfast when you first got there in the morning. So it was like little rolls and bagels and that kind of stuff. Then we had lunch, you know, a nice, like one day it was deli sandwiches. You made your own sandwich. One there was wraps. I can't remember what the other day was. Oh, there was like tacos. So you can make your own fajita taco type thing. It was a buffet, and you just went down and picked all your goodies. It was just so much fun. The only hard part was driving there every day, because depending on traffic, it's only supposed to take me about 35 minutes to get there. And of course, the first day it took over an hour because traffic was crazy. The vendors were allowed to come in the day before it opened and set up. So that was great, because it takes me a long time to set up. If you haven't seen my my setup, I have one whole table of patterns and things. I have a big rack, and I have to set out all my samples. So luckily she had gotten me 2 huge tables to set up on. So I had a ton of room. And then I also have a lot of glassware. I have the little salt cellars with the wool balls for like little pin cushions. And I usually have the milk glass candy dishes that you can put your scissors on. And I sold out of, well, I still have a lot of salt cellars, but I sold a lot of stuff. So it was really nice. So anyway, it was great. now I want to talk about the designers. I'm just so impressed with everything. What they did for our designs. Now, these are exclusive designs. They were created for this retreat. Um, they will probably be released maybe in a year. I'm not sure. But anyway, the first day, so each designer, it was a 3-day retreat. And the first day was Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower. And then the second day was Stacy Nash of Stacy Nash Designs. And then the last day was just stitching. So that was fun. So when we got our kits from Janine of the Blue Flower, I was so impressed. I just feel like I really need to up my game for when I teach and the kits I hand out. So we got this wonderful box. This is a nice box. And it says, I asked for 36 count linen. She had a couple different sizes of Aida and 2 different sizes of linen. So I got the 36 count linen. So we got this wonderful box. I've already taken, because I started the project. So I'm going to show you what's in there now, and then I'll show you the rest of the kit. So let me see if I can even get this open. Okay. So everything was wrapped in this beautiful tissue paper. I was so impressed. Then inside the box was another box. It was so cute. So this is a sliding box. And then inside this box, I've already done some of the stuff in here, was a little kit to make, this is to make a little pin cushion. And remember I said I sell the little salt cellars with the little wool balls? Well, she gave everybody these little handmade aqua powdery bowls. And then what you do is you make a little pin cushion with this. I've already got it started. You probably can't see anyway. I stitched around the edge. So I was making the pin cushion. Then you put the pin cushion in here. And she had extras of these. So she handed out. So I got 2 different sizes. This one's pretty heavy, but they're my favorite color. I just love them. Anyway, so inside this box, there was that. We each got this, beautiful needle minder. This is gorgeous. And it goes with the project. Here's another free thing that somebody handed out. And then to stuff our pin cushions with lavender, real lavender. I love lavender, obviously, because I bought the lavender hand stuff. Oh my God, it smells so good. And then we also got this beautiful little monarch butterfly pin, to put in our pin cushion. I'm telling you, this was like fabulous. Oh, and we also got, this is a needle minder again, fabric covered needle minder. So cute. And then she had door prizes, and these are the tickets for the door prize. I was number 1, didn't win anything, but I'm gonna save that and use it as a bookmark. So anyway, I was just, as I'm opening this up, I'm just going, oh my God, this is great. I can't believe how wonderful all this stuff is. I don't give away fancy stuff like that, but I may have to from now on. So anyway, I did start stitching her project, which is, it's hard to see in the picture, but it is so beautiful. She had the original project there. It's so much prettier in person. It's a beautiful monarch butterfly. And again, this is called Heart's Garden by the Blue Flower, and it is beautiful. Like I said, I started it the first day. I did not start Stacy's project because I already had this one started. So she provided the fabric, and you can't see how beautiful this fabric is. This is the fabric. This is 36 count. I don't think I have the tag in here. I don't remember what brand. I think it's called Bambi or Fawn or something. But it's just lovely. I usually don't like dark fabrics, but it's such a pretty and it's hard to see it, over the computer, but it's really like a fawn color, a reddish brown, not real red, but just a hint of red. And I think I'm going to have plenty of fabric left over. And I started it going the wrong direction, but luckily the design is almost square. Because as you can see, I should have started it going this way, and instead I didn't realize it wasn't square. So, but I should still have plenty of room. I may go down the side and just try it because I don't want to have to take all this out. I did not get a lot done, but it was lots of fun. And the colors, fabulous. We got 2 packets of threads. Of course, they're kind of messed up now. It includes Weeks Dye Works, really pretty colors. There's a little bit of DMC. But the best thing is I have never used this floss before. This is Cottage Garden threads. And if you have not used them, they feel like silk. To me, I know they're not, but they remind me of silk. And I'm trying to find one. This one hasn't been opened yet. So, but this is what they come packaged like this. I was trying to save one because I wanted to show you how to open it. Because usually what I do when you get a skein of let me pull one of these out. This is the Weeks Dye Works. When you get your skein, it's looped. It's just one big long continuous piece. So what I do is I take it and cut it right here. And then you have pieces that are about 18 inches long. So I was going to try and do this with this Cottage Garden threads, and I was trying to figure out how to get it because it's all stapled down. See, here's my last one I have left. It's all stapled down, and I was going to pull it all apart, and I'm glad I didn't. I happened to glance at the back. There's actually instructions. This is such a clever idea. This one's been kind of beat up, but when you get it there, it looks like this. So what you do is you pull down on the left side. Like I said, I've kind of beat it up. You pull down on the left side and this comes out. And there you are. It's already cut. You don't have to cut it. And you can pull out one thread. I'm actually stitching this 36 using one strand, or you can pull out, this is 6-stranded, just like regular DMC. And you can just pull this out and then take up one strand out of this. But I have them all open now, but it's really, really lovely thread. I ended up opening them all because I was showing everybody at the table, so they didn't pull theirs apart. But anyway, this is beautiful thread. So anyway, needless to say, I had a great time. I pulled this out to work on. I started working on a little bit today. I was actually on an EGA Zoom meeting. They have a new SIG, special interest group. EGA does. I don't think you have to be a member to join, but they meet over Zoom. Like there's like 3 different meetings during the month because it depends on what time, and there's people from all over the US. There's people from anywhere from New York to California. So the time zones, so they have them at different times for people that do work, that don't work. They have them on the weekend. They have one today at 3. Today is whatever today is, Sunday. And so I was on that today and stitching a little bit. Actually, I was working on my stitch of the month, but anyway, okay, I have one more designer to talk about. I know you wish you were here. So Stacy Nash also did not disappoint. This was the pretty bag we got from her. Nice cotton bag with this kit she designed um, exclusively for us. And she talked about um, all this is like part of her story. There's swans, the houses, the barn, the people, all that. And then she actually made this into, uh, she didn't frame it. It's backed with fabric. So it's like a roll. You can roll it up. But again, this has also very pretty fabric and threads. Beautiful fabric. I did not, like I said, I did not start this. It's actually, I don't know how it's going to look on your screen, but it's darker than it looks here, but it's very pretty. Obviously heavily modeled, which I like. This is actually a little bit darker than the fabric she stitched the model on, but by the time you stitch everything on it, it does not, you don't see as much of the modeling because, oops, the fabric is, all the stitches cover up a lot of the fabric. And then we got this cute little bag, Weeks Dye Works. We got a spring fling little 6-inch ruler. How cute is that? I think that's everything. And then all the beautiful Weeks Dye Works threads. The fabric again is 36 count. It's by Needle Bling Linen, who I've not heard of before, and it's called Red Dirt Road. So it is, I don't know how it's going to look like I said on your screen, but it's really kind of a pinky brown, but very, very modeled. And I'm really excited because I love samplers and it's very pretty. It's really pretty. It's called Two Red Houses. And it was designed by Stacy for Spring Flings. So again, this is a exclusive right now for us, for the people that attended this retreat. And she'll probably, like I said, it'll probably be released in the next, after at least 12 months. So that is that. I'm putting it back. I love it when they give me little bags to put things in. Oh, and I forgot to mention one last little goodie I got. My friend Melody. I always sit with Jean, my friends Jean and Melody. And Melody had these wonderful spools. And I got to pick, these are antique spools, and this is thread on there. So she gave away a few of these, and I got to pick the one I wanted. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It obviously needs like a band sampler or something to hang from it. So anyway, let's see if I forgot anything. Oh, one more thing. I thought that was going to be my last retreat until I teach in August, because I really haven't signed up for much this summer. I'm hoping to, I don't know what, work on my house. I'm doing a lot of designing. I have a lot of things going on in my head. So maybe by next time I'll be able to show you a little bit of the new design, the new teaching piece I'm working on that I'm really excited about. Oh, geez. I took a nap and I'm still tired. So while I was at the retreat, I spoke with Michelle Marvin. She runs a one-day retreat in Ocala, Florida, which is about 2 hours north of me. And she invited me to vend at her retreat, and I've never done that before. It's a one-day retreat. So I went to her last one with my friend Sue Donnelly. Hey, Sue. We made a weekend of it, even though it was only a one-day retreat on Saturday. Sue and I met there up in Ocala at a hotel on Friday and spent Friday and Saturday night, because she lives in further north, and I'm south. So it was like 2 hours for both of us to meet at this retreat. So we spent the first night and we went to Brick City, Cross Stitch, the wonderful, even though it's 2 hours away, I kind of consider it my local needlework store. So we went there to pick up a few things. And then the next day we went to the retreat, and then we went out for dinner and spent the night again and wandered around, and then we went home. So, but for this one, it's just me. I'm just going by well, my friend Melody and Jean are going also, but they're going up together and then I'm going up separate. So it's a 2 hour drive. So it starts at 9. So I'm going to have to leave my house pretty darn early because I'll also need to get there and set up for everything. So it was very nice of her to invite. She also invited Jean to set up. Jean sells wonderful project bags, and I think she almost sold out of them at the last retreat we were at. So these retreats are a little different. They're a lot more laid back. It includes lunch, but you just come. It starts at 9, closes at 5. Everybody just comes and stitches. There's usually some, not really raffle, teacup auction, whatever you call them. They always raise money for some charity. So there's little things you can buy tickets for. They do have a few door prizes, but like I said, they have a nice little lunch, public subs or, whatever. But it's fun that I'm going to be able to set up. A lot of the people don't even know that I sell. And I don't think Michelle had seen all my stuff set up before. So she asked me to come along with Jean to set up. So I'm really excited because it'll be I'll be set up and selling, but I'll also be able to just sit and stitch and work on whatever I want, that kind of thing. So I do have one little baby retreat coming up. That's next weekend. So I'm gonna have to go to bed really early and get up really early, like at, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Ew. And then drive for 2 hours. Just get me some good coffee to take on the way, iced coffee. Dunkin' Donuts, iced coffee, yum. Except I don't think they'll be open yet. But anyway, enough of that. So as you can see, I had a wonderful time at the retreat. I'm so excited. I've already signed up for next year. With Anna's, they sell out. So if you look online or on Facebook for Sunshine State, I think it's either Sunshine State Stitchers or Sunshine State Stitching. I can't remember which. And sign up for her, follow her on Facebook, and then you'll hear about all her retreats she has coming up, the designers she's bringing in. I know next year, I think she's bringing in 3, and I'm very excited about all of them. So anyway, that's enough about the retreats. I have another, and now last time I showed, I think 3 or 4 antique samplers. I had just recently reproduced and were available on my Facebook page or on my Etsy shop, in the Morning Glory Needleworks Etsy shop. Well, again, I was going through, I have an acid-free box that I have a lot of samplers laid out in. And I found this one and I decided I'm going to reproduce this one. I'm very excited. It's really different. It's different than anything else. It has a few challenging stitches, so I'm excited about that. It has stitches I have not used before, just one that I have not taught. I've done it, but I have not used it in any of my designs, so I'm very excited. This is, get it forward here. She's in a little rough shape, but I'm working on getting her reproduced. I may have to fake a couple of spots, and I already have. But this is Anna Miriam Renoff, and she stitched this on the 8th of February 23rd, 1830. Oh, you can see that at the bottom. But this has, and I love it, it has pulled work. Can you see it looks like lace, but what it is, this is a loosely woven, this is actually 28 count linen. And as you stitch, you pull the stitches tight and it creates this lacy effect. Now, the one thing I have not taught before, I've done a lot of different types of needlework. I just haven't taught them all because I like to try everything. But this has, you can see it at the top, This actually has drawn threads. So the threads are pulled out, and then the threads that are left are woven. You weave around them. I'm trying to find, you kind of see, she has it at the top and the bottom. Oops, the very bottom, you see where it's ripped there? That's what it looks like when the threads are pulled out. And then right above it, you can see this design is made by, I got dust in my nose, by wrapping threads around the loose threads, if that made any sense. But it has a couple of alphabets. I'm charted up to about here. She did some kind of funky, weird bands here. Unfortunately, you can see there's a huge hole. It was somebody machine sewed this piece of fabric. It matches very well, but they didn't do a very good job. And this is actually like a piece of brocade fabric. It actually has a design on it. It's kind of a weird piece of fabric, but you can see there's a big hole right here in the center of this. So I like the alphabet is not hard because the alphabets up here she is using are very basic standard alphabets. Now this one down here is kind of a script alphabet, and I'm missing the M right in the middle here. So I'm going to have to come up with an M to put in there. All the other letters are there. I mean, I know how big it has to be and all that, but I don't know why the person that mended it sewed this huge piece of fabric on the back when the hole is just right here. But that's what you get. And I probably got this at a really good price because I'm cheap, and it's obviously badly damaged. Also, she has some other fun stitches here. Here, this is a blanket stitch wave. It's really pretty. If you could see it up close, there's satin stitch. There's this blanket stitch here. You can't see it very well. And then below that is teeny, tiny. This right here above her name, I believe is chain stitch. Very, very tiny chain stitch. Now this is not fine linen. This is like 28 threads to the inch. So it's not like some of them that I've done that are 50 threads to the inch. And you need, when you're doing the pulled thread, you want to have a fairly loose weave so you can pull the threads. So if somebody says drawn work, that's when the threads are actually removed, like at the top here. And then pulled thread is when you actually, as you're stitching, you pull the thread tight. I think in one of my past videos, I did a pulled thread stitch. I'll have to do another one. So I'm trying to figure out what all of these are. Some of them I've got figured out. This is like a pulled satin. This is an eyelet, couple of different eyelets, obviously. So I was sitting with my books, the books I showed last time, or time before maybe. Anyway, the books on pulled thread, trying to figure out by looking at the front and the back what these stitches are, because when you pull threads, so if you start out with a straight stitch and you pull it, it ends up being curved. And then when you stitch a diagonal stitch and you pull it, it actually ends up being straight. So you have to kind of figure this out. And like this first one is really teeny tiny. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see it better. No, that didn't help, but it's very tiny. And even though this is a large count of fabric, the stitch thing is really tiny. So I'm trying to figure out, I think it's faggot stitch. And that is not offensive. That is the name of the stitch. And some of these others maybe too. So anyway, this is not going to be a quick project like some of the others. This one I'm actually, some of them when I reproduce them, I can just reproduce them. This one I'm going to have to stitch it because I need to figure out all the stitches and all that good stuff. But it's a lot of fun. as I'm looking at it, I kept finding, oh, this is, like this little row of blanket stitch here. I've not seen that before. So that was the zigzags, satin, or a zigzag like blanket stitch. So that was fun to find. Most of the rest of it is just cross stitch or the pulled thread. But anyway, so that is Anna Renhoff. I'm not sure how to say her name. I don't know anything else about her. I have no background on her. I don't even remember where I got the sampler. I have so many of them. And I'm just trying to go through them all. Now, exciting. Yay, it's time for the stitch of the month. So this month, I've already done, this is a rice stitch variation. I've already done, it's hard to see, I've already done one rice stitch, I think. I'm trying to keep track of all these because this is my third year doing this, so I don't want to repeat any stitches. But anyway, this is a rice stitch variation. And this is done over 6 threads. A lot of times rice stitch is done over 2 threads or 4 threads. This one's done over 6, and it has an extra little stitch on it. Now this stitch is going to be really tiny, and I'm going to demonstrate it here in a minute so you can see. So you're going to do your, well, let me bring up my my PowerPoint. Hold on, and then it'll be easier to see than on this. So hold on, let me bring that up. All right, so this makes it easier for you to see. So first what you're gonna do, I did mine in like a light green and a yellow. You can do it in any 2 colors, you can do it in 1 color. This is just the way I did mine. So the big X, you're gonna do just a big giant cross stitch over 6 threads. Instead of over 4 or 2, this is over 6 threads. And then once you do all your cross stitches across the row, you're going to go in and do your rice stitching, which is you're going to cover the corners. Now, how I did this, I did the longer diagonals over 3 threads first. So you're going to come up in the center left, 3 threads down or 3 threads up from step 1, and do a half cross, a diagonal stitch over 3 threads. And then you're going to go, I like to go straight down and then come up at C, which is in the center bottom. I think this makes, if you go straight across the back, it makes your threads pull correctly as you're stitching. So that's how I work the stitch. So you go A, B, and then go straight down to C, do your diagonal, go down at D, which shares a hole with A, horizontally across the whole stitch, come up at E, which again is right in the center, and then do your half cross over 3 threads and go down at F, go straight up, come up at G, and go down at H, which shares a hole with E. That's a basic rice stitch. Now we're going to do an extra step on it. So you're going to come up at I, which is 1 thread below step 4. And then you're going to go down at J. So we're just going over a 1 thread intersection. So you're going to have a space in between. I've done other rice stitches that have three steps there. This one just has 2. And then, so you're going to go I, J, again, straight down to K, which is 1 thread to the right of 1. Come up at K, go down at L, 1 thread above 1, go horizontally across, come up at M, go down at N over a 1 thread intersection, go straight up and to step O. Sorry, I have my pictures on there. Come up at step O and again go over your 1 thread intersection and go down at P. So you do all your cross stitches first, your big cross stitches, and then you go and you do all your rice stitches on top. So I'm going to demonstrate that and show you what I mean. So hold on, let me get out of here. All right, so here we are. This is my little plastic canvas here in the camera. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my big giant cross stitch over 6 threads. 2, 4, 6, 2, oops, 4, 6. Okay. So there we are. I just pulled on another stitch, so my thread's kind of wrinkly here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. So there is the big cross stitch over 6 threads. I'm going to do a couple of these just so you can see how they share holes. So you would just continue across the row and do however many is called for on whatever you're working on. So there is that. Now I'm going to find some other needles threaded up here. They're all, or maybe I don't. I have some other thread here, which is all, there we go. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't have a pair of scissors here and I needed to cut my thread. My thread was hanging off the end here with no needle, but it looked kind of chewed up, like maybe a cat was chewing on it. So I had to cut that part off. Kind of looks kind of gnawed. Anyway, okay. Back to stitching. So now we're going to do all our little rice stitches. So I'm going to come up here. This is in the center on the left side, and I'm going to do a diagonal stitch across the corner. I'm going to come up, that was step AB. Go straight down, vertically down, go into the same hole. This is a nice, easy stitch. Once you understand where you're stitching, you don't really have to pay that much attention to the diagram. I try to remember to always do my stitches on the back, either horizontal or vertical. So there is what a basic rice stitch would look like. So now I'm going to come over here and do my little bitty stitches over 1. So this is step I, J, go straight down, K, L, horizontally, oops, not over there, horizontally across. And then do my other one straight up and do this. So that is 1 rice stitch. Isn't that pretty? Now I'm just going to start working the other one. Notice that it shares holes. These are going to share holes. 2, 3. And I'm going to just work it the same as the other one. This stitch works up really fast. Like I said, you really don't have to look at the chart or count too much because it's big for one thing. Oops, my stitch is loose here, there. And so just, like I said, do your base cross stitches first and then come back and you can use a different color. I like to use a different color when I'm doing this. And work all your little rice stitches, on top, your little crossed corners here. So there you go. That's 2 rice stitches. And other than looking for a pair of scissors, you can see how easy that was. I want to bring this up and show. So this is mine. Zoom in a little bit. You can see I used a pale green and it's like a mint green and a yellow. So it's a very pretty stitch. So there we are. That's it for FlossTube 81. That was fun. It was longer than I thought it was going to be. I had so much fun stuff to talk about. Again, as always, thank you. This thing's sticking up here. Thank you to everybody who subscribes, watch my videos. I hope to see you at a retreat someday. If I'm there, come up and say hi. I'm always excited to see people that watch my videos. So, and tell your friends and share. What is this? Geesh, my tousled bob is pretty tousled here. So anyway, thank you again. And I will see you on the 15th of June with more information about another retreat and who knows what. You never know what I'm going to talk about. So thanks, and I will see you next time.